All right, hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Comic Book Radio. I'm your host, Peter Cimetti, and this is episode 121. We're taking a look back here. It's a nostalgia stream, taking a look back at trading cards and records that have to do with comic books. This is going to be a very awkward, not an awkward stream, although it could be, a very awkward setup for me tonight. So this is what it looks like here. Right there. Now I got the microphone set up in a different spot. I've got the camera all set up on this doohickey here. Can you guys hear me? Am I coming through loud and clear? Can you guys hear everything fine? Hopefully you can. Grape Nuka-Cola in the chat. What's up? Says evening chat and Pete. Bobo Ayami's here. How's it going, Bobo? H is for heretic. Says more pecan pie. Or is it pecan? Pecan sounds weird. What's up, H is for heretic? Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, of course. Brian Suddenly Old, what's up? How's it going? Survive Infinity is here too. Hey. We got Manny Cornejo in the chat. How's it going, Manny? Thank you for being here tonight, Dog Mask. Appreciate it. Tarks is here as well. What's up, Tarks? Goody Two Shoes in the house. What's up, Goody Two Shoes? Shane O'Sullivan is here. Says, if I made an intro YouTube thingy, I'd be using clips from the greatest comedy called Father Ted. I can't get into Father Ted. I love everything else that Graham Linehan does. Black Books, IT Crowd, whatever. I can't get into Father Ted. I'm trying. If you can recommend a specific episode for me to jump into, that's a good one. Let me know. Charlie, what's up, Charlie? How's it going? Thank you for being here. Spaceman, coming down from above. What's up, Spaceman? How's it going? Shane says, I can make it awkward if you'd like. Dr. Mask says, sounds good. Okay, great. I'm glad it does. Very, very good. Otherwise, this is gonna be painful tonight then. So, good. I'm glad that it's coming in loud and clear. Seer Vol is obvious. I still have many of my trading cards from my youth. Batman, Beatles, and the Monkees. There you go. Metatron's Cube. Memory lane time. Yes, it is memory lane time. Yeah, I got a lot of trading cards to show you guys. I got a stack of records here, so we're going to go through those first. And I'm just sticking to my comic book related records tonight. We're not going to go down maybe one day we will. Maybe one show we will. We'll take a look at the vinyl record collection, but it's just comic book records tonight. But yeah, I'm curious to see if you guys have any of these, if you guys have any of the trading cards. Spaceman says coming in 5x5. All right. I'm glad everybody could hear. Okay, good. Very nice. Old Dirty Fatty's here. Beanpad is here. What's up? NXerd, how's it going? Doc says pecan, unless you want to be fancy. Then it is pecan. Man. I gotta come up with a better way to pronounce that. Pecan. I like pecan. Shane O'Sullivan says, I'll send a clip with the best episodes to Twitter later. I appreciate that, Shane. Thank you very much. I'm trying with Father Ted. I just can't seem to do it. I've seen 5 or 6 of them, and I'm like, oh, man. Johnny Slaction says, careful now. Down with this sort of thing. Great Father Ted episode. Okay, I'll look into that. Brian Suddenly Old says, it's a good day reading Zombie Sama right now. There you go. Bobo Ayami says, if you don't like episode 1 of Father Ted, you won't like the rest, but you could try Chirpy, Burpy, Cheap Sheep. All right, interesting. It's not even like I don't like it. It's more just like I'm looking for the funny, and I'm feeling like is it maybe not American enough? Like IT Crowd and Black Books have the story beats and the humor feels kind of almost purposefully in the realm of being more like almost like Seinfeld in a way, almost kind of American-y. And I wonder if maybe Father Ted is not like that. But hey, whatever. Blastbeat says, let's talk cars. There you go. All right, so here are the records. Here are the records for the record. Here's a Superman book and record set. And if this works out with this, I want to eventually do some draw streams too, with the way this is set up. There's some great stuff here. Look at that. The book and record comic is just great. Solid art. Fun story. They just don't make them like this anymore. Keep a count as to how many times I say they just don't make them like this, or the good old days, or back in the day. If you take a drink every time I say that, you may have a lot of fun with this show. Yeah, just good old-fashioned Supermaning. There's a couple really nice shots here, you know, that you could take and almost even turn them into merch. There's such a good shot. Young Ones, yeah, Young Ones is great. I dig Young Ones. Where is that? Wave of Mutilation, what's up? AL is here too. How's it going, AL? But yeah, not that I'm encouraging to take in upon the drink. I'm just saying. I might end up saying back in the day, they don't make them like they used to. Quite a few times. And there's the record, of course. This is fun because, you know, as you're listening to the record, you'd turn a page, and, you know, it goes beep, that kind of a thing, you know. It was fun. And then look at all the ones they have here. There's Alice in Wonderland, Jack and the Beanstalk, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, Gingerbread Man, Puff and Toot, Ugly Duckling, Frankie the Brave Fireman, Blinky, Thumbelina, Hansel and Gretel, Dracula, Frankenstein, Curse of the Werewolf. I actually sold that one recently. Treasury of Mother Goose, Bugs Bunny, Batman. That's fun looking. Star Trek, Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, and then there's a whole bunch more listed on the bottom there. And the art's kind of off-registered. Almost looks like it's supposed to be 3D, but I can assure you it's not supposed to be 3D. It's just how it was back in the day. And this is from 76. 1976. Alright. This one, it's not a comic book record, but this is one of my favorites as a kid. And I got this record when I met Spider-Man at Caldor when I was 5. It's funny because it's sort of like Star Wars, but not exactly. The art is reminiscent of, but not quite. Even on the back. You know, it doesn't look like the art that was used before it. This almost looks like from Spaceballs, when he's a mix of Han Solo and Luke. And there is the record there, but really solid, really solid soundtrack. One of my favorites. I'm not entirely sure of, let's see, who is the, I don't think they list it. Sometimes they list what, oh, there it is, the Now Sound Orchestra. That's over. But yeah, I loved this one when I was a kid. Here is Superman 2 soundtrack. I got this as a gift. Of course, it's got the Superman theme. Very poignant skyline there. This, of course, being the soundtrack to the movie. And the record's got kind of a cool look to it. I don't know if you can see, sort of. It's got like a holographic Superman logo thing going on. That's pretty sweet. Let me piling these up at the side. Let me put these together. I had these two together in here before the show. And when I show off some of the comic book cards I've got, I think I have complete sets of everything I'm going to show tonight. I definitely didn't have those sets when I was a kid, and I ended up getting complete sets later on off of the good old eBay. But anyway, we're on the records right now. Here's this one. Anyone that knows me knows that I love Christmas. And I almost have like a sub collection within my comics and even within my records. I love Christmas albums. Some people detest them. I absolutely love them. So here's this fun Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman one I got as a gift a while back. There's the back of it. Such great art on these. And King Cryptid one day will have, next year actually, next year's campaign, a Christmas issue. King Cryptid and Santa's reindeer trying to find Santa. They've been separated. So it's kind of like King Cryptid Saves Christmas. And this is one that I met Spidey. This is when I met Spider-Man at Caldor when I was 5. And he signed to Peter, best wishes, Spider-Man. He was a very convincing Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure it actually was Spider-Man. I mean, he moved like Spider-Man. He looked like Spider-Man. The costume was on point. There's a line around that building to meet Spidey. And they were giving, you could bring, I think it was a couple of items you could bring. I don't even know if there was a limit. I was a kid, maybe 5. And he signed this record. He might have signed another record, I'm not sure. But there was a comic. It was when, let me see, Eric Larson drew it. And Venom is like leaping out. And Spider-Man's hands are like, no, like that kind of a thing. And he signed the inside of that. That was fun. So this was a good record. I listened to this a bunch when I was a kid. Lone Ranger. This was a lot of fun. And Peter Pan records. They did a great job back in the day. Take a look at that. Really, really solid art on all of these. You could tell they care. Here's another fun one. It's a Batman record, Power Records here. Here's 4 stories. Scarecrow's Mirages, Challenge of the Catwoman, If Music Be the Food of Death, and stacked cards. And there's the back of the record too. It's fantastic art. Just great. This was a lot of fun. The voice acting was awesome on these. And this record's from 75. I'm 99% sure. This, the Lone Ranger one, and a couple others like this Wonder Woman one. There's a couple Superman ones. I picked up all at Caldor the day I met Spidey. I think they're only a couple of bucks if I can remember correctly. Maybe $2 or $3. Wonder Woman. 3 exciting, all-new action-adventure stories. Look at that. Power Records again. Division of Peter Pan. This was from 75 as well. It's amazing that these were so cheap at Caldor at the time when I was a kid. I really don't know how they would have been. So there's Wonder Woman. The Incredible Hulk. This one was a lot of fun as well. This is from 78. Seriously, the art is great. They don't make them like this anymore. And this is on a record. This is what all the comics look like. Look how dynamic that is. Look at how energetic it is. Amazing. This is a great one. Spidey stories. And this was my first exposure, I guess, to John Romita art. And that's Spider-Man to me. Through and through. I like all kinds of different artists that have done Spider-Man, of course, but it's like seeing Jose Luis Garcia Lopez on DC art, John Romita with Spider-Man is just, yep. That's just it. That's Spider-Man. Love this one. And this is from, it's got some Electric Company stuff, and there you see Spidey from the Electric Company. This record's from 77. And this one actually has the credits of all the voice actors there, which is pretty cool. I don't really recognize any of the names, but, well, other than, yeah, Morgan Freeman, because he was in the Electric Company. Yeah, Heroinberg. Spider-Man had his own little theme song separate from the cartoon on the Electric Company. Here's a Superman record. Look at that art. Just fantastic stuff. Power Records again. With the back of it. One day when I have the space, the proper space, these are all getting framed. In a way that I could take the record out, maybe. Not encapsulated, just framed. They got all those nice pre-made frames for records. Another Superman record right here. With some more art on the back. All of these are from the 70s from what it looks like. This is another 77. The blast beat you're thinking of Pee-wee's Playhouse was with Lawrence Fishburne as Cowboy Curtis. And he was Larry Fishburne. Superman. Another one. And then just the back. He's either gonna punch you or he's like fist bumping. Alright, Soups. Fist bump. And then the last one here. This Justice League record. Loved Metamorpho. I think this was the first time I ever knew about Metamorpho was from this record. Got the Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Plastic Man. And again, this is from 75. Yeah, these are a lot of fun, and that's about it for the comic records. So now that we got these out of the way, because there's a lot of trading cards, I don't want to show the cards first and then not have enough time for the records. Alright, so I've got binders upon binders of these. I guess I'll just start with the one that's closest. As you can see, when I was a kid, I had a lot of fun decorating all of these. Alright. Who are we kidding? I did that last year. Now, these cards were a lot of fun with Mark Bagley art. The Spider-Man anniversary. They create a nice image across the entire thing connecting the cards. I'm pretty sure I've got the complete set here. It took a while to track some of these down, but I eventually did. Again, thanks to the wonders of eBay. The first time I saw this set, it was because my cousin was hoarding packs of these. My cousin was strange. We're the same age, and when I was a kid, when we were both kids actually, I'd say around the age of 10 to 12, he would just buy packs of cards and then keep them in his desk drawer for years. And then one day, I think we were 14 or something like that, 14 or 15. We're up there in his room, and he opens up this drawer that has all these packs of cards. And this was one of them. And at that point in time, this set was already out for a few years. But I remember seeing the pack going like, what set was that? So I tracked it down at my local shop, got a couple of them, and that was that. This one was a lot of fun. Yeah, here's that classic. I think I got an uncut sheet when they were doing a promo. Really classic stuff from the 90s. Solid art on all of these. Tark says, I have a sudden urge to collect comic book records. Nice collection, Pete. Thank you, Tarks. I appreciate that. I would highlight your comment, but the mouse is in an awkward area over here, and I can't really click on it at the moment. So here's a couple more. These are all obviously scenes of Spider-Man fighting villains and whatnot. And here are his friends. Even J. Jonah Jameson. Time was back in the day. They don't make them like they used to. If you've been drinking along, you're probably just about ready to go to bed at this point. So here are, of course, the sets. Now, I've mentioned this before. It's a gripe that I have with trading card sets when they don't end on a full page. You know, so instead of ending at like 153 or whatever, they'd end at 150. You know, and it sounds nice. It sounds nice to go, oh yeah, 150 card set. But then you put them in the binder and you've got these 3 spots. So I ended up putting these in here. I think these were from cereal or something. These lenticular Spider-Man things. Oh, handy snacks. There you go. Here's a couple of, I guess, special bonus chase cards kind of a thing from various sets. I never really spent a lot of time tracking those down. I cared more about the base set. Here's their Ultra Spider-Man series from, I think, 95 or 96? 95. A lot of great work on these. I wish I could have the camera set up so that you could see the full, all of it, but it is what it is. I hope you guys can at least see enough. And for a while, I had almost a complete, yeah, there it is. I thought I had a whole complete set. I've never managed to get this card. And then every time I look it up, I'm like, I don't want to pay that. So I just left the signature card. But yeah, other than that, Other than that, it's a complete set. I might have one other card that's like that, where it's a signature foil parallel set, but not the actual base card. This had a lot of fun art in it. I love these types of cards too when I was a kid, especially because sometimes you just don't know where to start. Who's who? What's what? Eventually, like, Spider-Man became one of my favorites, so I started collecting the cards in addition to the comics, but I'll show a lot of the Marvel Universe cards and the DC Cosmic cards in just a bit. But they really helped me to familiarize myself with the comic universe and learn about new characters and new stories. And this is like a time when you could get a pack of cards that had like 12 to 20 cards and would be like $1 or $2. So it's kind of the equivalent of getting a comic, but you get to learn about all kinds of different characters. You got to do your research when you're a kid. You only got so much money and so much time. And these help me do very vital research. These Carnage cards were a blast. Really funny. He's just going to different monuments and landmarks, tearing them up. Fun, fun, fun. It's good stuff. Alright, so that was this binder. I haven't looked at these binders in years. I felt a little nostalgic. I don't know why. Figured, let's do a fun little stream tonight. About an hour or so. Taking a walk down memory lane with trading cards and records. And then I'll get back to packing orders and whatnot. I'm about 80% done with fulfillment. Thank you for your patience, and I'm glad a bunch of you guys have got your stuff. So here's the X-Men Fleer Ultra set from '94. Let me see if I could move this comic book radio. You guys know what you're watching. There we are. So now you can get a better idea. Well, you know what also? I should have done this before. Let me see if I can tweak this so that we could go full screen. Let's see if this is possible. I mean, I know I'm full screen, but I can't, before you could make it the whole thing. Like the whole... Gotta see about that. Is it that? No, that's not that. I'm hitting buttons here. I'm sure it's very entertaining. Let's see. No, that's not it. Camera, nope. Layout. Maybe this one here. There we are. Look at that. Okay. Fantastic. Very, very nice. All right. All right. So here we are with a bunch of these. And thanks, Charlie. Thank you for being here for a second. Appreciate it. Catch it later. We're going to have a whole bunch more shown in just a few minutes. Loved this set as a kid. I can't tell you how many school lunches I traded to get a bunch of these cards when I was a kid. Nothing like trading mediocre school lunches for comics and trading cards. Yeah, this was a beautiful set. Lots of great art. Lots of artists that you might even be familiar with at this point in time, especially. This was kind of fun because they listed a bunch of the different power sets along with a little bio about the character. This is Fleer Ultra 94 X-Men. Now, these weren't my favorites of the ones with the power stats. Those are my favorites. But I really like these. I like these. I thought they had a wide range of art. Some better than others. Some characters I'd get them and I'm like, I don't know who this is. I still in some cases don't know who's who. I can't remember really ever seeing them. Like Tempo and Slayback. I don't know. You got some of these nice original X-Men here. And some of the crossover events and whatnot. The team triptych cards were nice. Even some of the events here. And you get a couple of the dead guys showing up. Dan Lawless. Look at that. Dan Lawless on both of these. I know that guy. You probably know that guy too. I'm sure there's a lot of people in these sets that you or I might know. Again, with the 150 card set, I ended up just putting a bunch of checklists, as you can see. So here's the X-Men Jim Lee set. You guys are probably more familiar with these. If not, here you go. Take a look. And this was another set that was a lot of fun. It had the power stats on there. And Jim Lee's iconic art from the X universe. I know they still make trading cards, but I haven't collected any. I haven't collected trading cards actually in a very long time. Maybe close to 20 years, maybe a little longer. But every time I look, I've seen that they've made comic cards, and I'm still just... It's like you get 3 to 5 cards in a pack nowadays, and then they're like $5 to $10 a pack. You know, you might as well just pick the ones you want at that point. Why bother getting a pack? You know, independence, I get it. It's limited edition, it's rare. You know, you can only print so many. You're only going to really make so many. It only makes sense to make so many. But when you get the bigger companies, these are great little advertisements on top of it. Like I said, I got to know a lot of characters and storylines and sought out a lot of comics because of these cards. Here's the second set. So this is X-Men Series 2. The first one being this, of course. Series 1 being all Jim Lee. And Series 2, I don't think Jim Lee is in any of these. I don't think he was there at that point. But there's a bunch of Art T. Bear. There's a bunch of Kubert art. There's all kinds of good stuff in this set, too. This was interesting because the back of it was as if Professor X was writing his profile and his kind of his not just description, but I guess almost the way he felt about some of these characters. His X-Files, I guess you could say. But these were a lot of fun as well. I remember as a kid at the time, I thought that the 3D looking X2 was cool. I love that Wolverine card. That was a solid card. A lot of fun. Look at that RT Bear right there. Art had a bunch of other cards too. Really, really fun stuff. Yeah, so if you guys had any of these sets, let me know. If anything looks familiar to you, if it doesn't look familiar to you, let me know as well. I don't even know how these sell, if they sell, what they go for. I don't really necessarily care to look too much of that up. It might be a little too tempting to sell them. I've heard people say that these are more valuable now probably than when I bought them. That's for sure. Here's the Marvel Masterpieces set. This was a lot of fun. Joe Jusko art. Look at that. Really, really fun stuff. Man, that would be an awesome. Get this gigantic Captain America as a a huge poster. That would be an awesome poster. I loved how fat guy, ripped and jacked Dr. Octopus was. He's like fat but not fat. A lot of Spanx, I guess. A lot of shapewear. I just love the look of him. I don't know why. It's funny when Shane Davis was on the other day and he was talking about Dr. Octopus and the Secret Wars figures and that he was muscular, even though the character really wasn't. It made me think, yeah, that's correct. Green Goblin, that card's awesome too. Really loved that one as a kid. I loved the Nightcrawler card when I was a kid, but I think it might be because I really loved Nightcrawler. I wonder where the original paintings of these cards are at. Love that Sabretooth card when I was a kid. Silver Sable. She's looking a bit with that come hither stare. That Spider-Man was awesome. Yeah, a bunch of these were a lot of fun. I dug the Sleepwalker, the Silver Surfer. The Wolverine card, I didn't mind it, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And I loved Wolverine when I was a kid. I don't know if it's just like he's too feral looking there. I liked him with the mask, Would have preferred that. And here's the 93 set of Marvel Masterpieces. And I agree, yeah, Daniel. There's a couple of great cards among these sets, and then there's a couple of so-so. But I really, really dug them when I was a kid. They're a lot of fun, though. That's for sure. I really enjoyed that cap. That was a good one. A couple of these are really great. Really, really great stuff. Spider-Man 2099 cards, pretty solid. It's funny because the ones I'm liking for the most part, I'm seeing the Iron Fist, the 2099, Joe Jusko. Some of these for Jusko's work are better than the first series was. Some of them are also kind of so-so. But solid stuff. I enjoyed the back of them a lot, where they had a little bit of a glimpse here and there of their first appearances. That's kind of fun. Where's the Wolverine on this one? Oh, I must have passed it. So this is from 1993, Marvel Masterpieces. And looks like I had a couple of the chase cards there from X-Men 2099. Can never get into X-Men 2099. I think of the 2099s, the only one I really dug was Spider-Man, and then peripherally, I enjoyed the Doom 2099 and Ghost Rider 2099. Punisher was fun, but it's kind of like Judge Dredd. Here's the DC Cosmic cards. Now, this set always bothered me as a kid because there's no Batman or Robin, but there's Nightwing. It had to do, I guess, and I don't know the specifics, but it would have had to do something with a licensing issue. There's so many different licensing issues at the time revolving around Batman because of the 89 Batman movie and DC signing away various licenses here and there. And then also, it's the same thing that would happen with the animated series and the 66 series, is because there was a weird kind of co-ownership going on with Fox and Warner Brothers. And then in some cases, with other things, it would tie stuff up. So I think maybe it had to do with that, but I really don't know. If anyone knows the official story as to why there's no Batman, because that's all I could think of is the rights issue. Blastbeat says the Batman cards were made by Topps. Yeah, so they must have completely sold over exclusive rights. But that always irked me. No Batman in a DC Comics card set. I get selling some rights, but dang. And of course, no Batman characters. No Joker, no Catwoman, no Rogues Gallery, none of that. Yeah, Batman had his own sets, but I always liked the universe sets, you know, of DC anyway. DC had eventually a set, I think it was called Power Chrome, and those were really nice, and they had another one as well that was kind of embossed. I think Power Chrome had stats for the characters, if I remember correctly. Either Power Chrome had that, or the other set had it with the embossed cards. But there's Nightwing. But I think I sold those a while ago. I sold them as a lot, I'm pretty sure, because I didn't have the complete set, and I didn't want to track them down. I remember specifically I had a couple of packs of these, and I think the comic shop was selling the set for like $25. And at the time, my parents were just like, just get the set. I was like, but I want to see if I could get a box and maybe I could get the holograms. They're like, just get the set. So we just got the set. At least I had that. This is like one of the only sets I think they ever bought me as a kid. Man, I must have whined about getting this when I was a kid. I think because it was so affordable, because I don't think this set actually did that great. Remember the other sets, the Marvel ones were like twice the amount. But these were fun. It was interesting seeing all the characters and whatnot. And did this end? See, this ended. They did it right. This ends at number 180. Complete page. So DC did it right on that. You know, lose a little bit of points for the lack of a Batman, but I get it. I understand how it goes. Funny how Nightwing shows up. Nightwing shows up, but no Batman. All right. This binder is big and awkward because it's got the D ring. Oh yeah, look, there it is. I have a pack of them. The Power Chrome. So yeah, I had them at some point in time, but I sold those a while ago. All right, I got one more binder. One more binder. Let's see what I got. And then we'll wrap it up and say goodnight. This should be all the Marvel Universe cards. Which don't let the front fool you. You know, I never understood why. Why did they give you a tremendously huge binder for this set? It's only 150 something cards for the Ultra Spider-Man set. Alright. So, yeah, here's the Marvel Universe cards. Now, these were some of my favorites. These were a lot of fun. Great art. Iconic. This is like the, to me anyway, the creme de la creme. The cream of the crop of comic book cards. A bunch of these sets. I think I've got, let me see, I think I got the first 4. I only had like 20 of these when I was a kid. These were so difficult for me to get at the time because when they first came out, it was a lot easier to get the second set and the third set. But the first set, I had just missed whatever it was in terms of them coming into the shop. And I only got a couple of packs, and then I only traded with friends on a couple of them. And eventually I got this whole set through eBay and sold whatever of the singles I had. Art Adams on the Hulk. Love Art Adams. A lot of great stuff here. And thank you, AL. Appreciate that. I just figured I'd have a nice walk down memory lane tonight with you guys. Take a look at some of this stuff. Just a nice chill stream, nostalgia stream, post-Thanksgiving. Nothing too crazy. Speaking of merch, though, we do have the Alterna Comics merch and winter apparel campaign. And that's ending in 3 days. You can get a premium blanket or hoodie, beanie or mug on there. So far, I've got all the hoodies in production thus far that have been ordered, and a couple of extras as well, just to anticipate what's been going down with everything being ordered. The good thing about them is I can adjust what I need because they go into production next week. They go into production next Wednesday. So if I need to up the order, I put in all the designs and everything else to the manufacturer. And then I've also got the same thing going on with the beanies. I had to order a minimum amount. It was a pretty large amount. That's the only one we're going to have more of. than anything else. But the blankets, the hoodies, the mugs, those are going to be relatively print to order with just a few extras based on the most popular item and sizes. So if you guys want, check it out. Get a great hoodie or blanket from some of your favorite alternate comics characters. Yeah, I loved these trading cards when I was a kid. It was a lot of fun seeing their wins and their losses and all that, you know. I always wondered, is that accurate? Did anybody go in there and count them up? You know, like right here, Electro has 71 wins and 89 losses, and ties at 28, and his win percentage is 38%. There's a couple characters here that have a pretty good win percentage. Wolverine's is ridiculous in terms of the amount of, let me go back here. He's got 407 wins, 91 losses, 131 ties. That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of fights. Aunt May, she's got 984 pies baked, 11,743 meals served. Wrinkles on face are too many to count. Life-threatening illnesses recovered from 23. This is when they knew how to have fun with comics. Yeah, even Spidey's got a lot of fights. Holy smokes, he's got way more than Wolverine. 920 wins, 528 losses, 134 ties. Silver Surfer, goodness gracious. When does he find the time? 6,107 wins, 893 losses, and 236 ties. Win percentage, 84%. So these were a lot of fun just because of the aspect of them making it fun. But yeah, something tells me they were just like, yeah, we'll throw in a number here for wins and losses. Just have fun with it. It's funny because a lot of the villains tend to have a losing record, so when you find villains with a winning record, it's always interesting. Like Doctor Doom's got a winning record, considering, but he's got a lot of ties. So he's got 124 wins, 86 losses, 97 ties. So his win percentage is actually kind of low, even though he's got more wins than losses. A lot of the cosmic characters tend to have much higher battle count, which is interesting. A lot of great cards in here. And then, yeah, there's the rookies, Ghost Rider and Deathlock. Guardians of the Galaxy team. New Warriors, Nomad, Fool Killer. Man, I barely remember Fool Killer. The battle cards were great. These were a lot of fun. Mephisto. Let's see. Let's go back there, see what Mephisto. Yeah, that was a great one. That's a solid card. Even when I was a kid, all the Art Adams stuff just stuck out to me. Always loved his, especially his earlier work. I love these with the covers on them. That's what gave me inspiration with the King Cryptid card series. Putting the covers on the cards. And then describing the issues, and yeah, I just love that stuff. The team cards. Those are always a lot of fun, seeing the team pictures. Yeah, at this point in time, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is just... What I love about some of these, they're completely inaccurate. Like this Alpha Flight team is pretty inaccurate. And some of them are missing members, of course. X-Men teams all over the place. But they were fun. This was a lot of fun with Spider-Man interviewing various characters. And then they ended the series on 162. They did it right. Ended on that full page. Alright, let's see here. This is Series 2. Marvel 91. And this is where these power stats start to kick in. These were great. Love these. This is probably one of my favorite sets of all time. It's a very iconic set. Very memorable set. Andy says Art Adams was the first artist I would hunt out and try to find everything he was working on. Yeah, same here. Same here. Loved his stuff. Still do. Still in my top 3, probably. You know, I'm a simple man. I see Art Adams. then I end up buying it. So, obviously, the Alterna series cards were inspired by these, for sure. At least the back with the way that we've done it. Just a lot of love for this set. A lot of love for this set. Some really great stuff on here. I mean, there's Art Adams, of course, but there's Jim Lee. There's all kinds of great stuff. I think I passed it already. Let me see. Did I pass the Doctor Strange card? No, I didn't pass that yet. Okay. This Art Adams Marvel Girl. Just whew. Great stuff. So here's this. This page was kind of, I felt like, one of the weaker pages among the set. Though it had Firestar. Gotta love Firestar. Especially if he grew up with Spidey and his amazing friends. Basically, Three's Company in spandex with superpowers. Love the Ghost Rider card. Again, Art Adams. Rogue, love that card. Art Adams. Doctor Strange, love that card. Art Adams. She-Hulk, Art Adams. A lot of great Art Adams cards in this set. Wolverine, that is an iconic card right there. Great pose. The Hulk card as well. Cap. Art did a lot of freaking cards on this. Holy smokes. The more I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, he's got like 4 to 5 cards per page. This was back in the day, too, when Wolverine wasn't, invincible. So his strength is pretty decent. His speed's pretty decent. Relatively normal, average. And the agility, stamina, and durability are superhuman levels. But they're not, nowadays they'd be off the charts. Indestructible. His intelligence should probably be at a 3. I'd say that. Wolverine is smarter than he comes across. But I respect the curbing on some of the stats on this. Except for Quasar with his... although, Quasar, I could give him a 7 speed. Yeah. Yeah, he travels at speed of light. But everything else, that was weird to me. Would that be correct? Is Quasar really that weak? A 1? I was always very confused about that. A 1 in strength. Goodness. Yeah, these were great as well. You got Some really fantastic villain art here. It's a great Mandarin card. Loved the Grim Reaper when I was a kid. I thought that was such a cool character that they were bringing like the Grim Reaper into comics. Obviously, he was around in comics for a long time, but I didn't know that as a kid until I read it, and then I was like, whoa, he'd been in comics since '68. So there you go. But yes, there's some really great stuff in this set. The Fin Fang Foom card's awesome. Johnny says, was this the set that had a card that just explained the stat numbers? Yeah, it had like 3 of them. They're towards the end of the set, and they explain the stats and what they mean. A lot of great stuff here. Love that Thanos card when I was a kid. Just conjured a lot. It's just great storytelling. Conjured a lot of imagination. Same thing with the Doom card. He looks like, you know, he looks like he's trying to be inviting and welcoming. Really great. Great stuff here. With the arch enemies, the battle scenes. Seriously, I'm drawn to all the Art Adams stuff. Amazing. A lot of great stuff in this set, but his work really stands out. AL says because of sensitivity these days, you can't have the Mandarin or Fin Fang Foom, which is, you know, so stupid. It's like, we should erase them. That'll be better. Or turn them white. How about Fin Fang Foom's just a giant white guy? That'll be better. Then no one will be hurt. Because no one ever, throughout the history of Asian culture, ever looked or dressed like the Mandarin. Nah. Never. I mean, hell, I thought Mandarin was so cool when I was a kid. He was the only Iron Man villain I actually really thought was that great. There's a couple that I thought were decent, but, you know, Mandarin with Iron Man just seemed pretty cool, especially with his rings and whatnot. They have a whole thing dedicated here to his rings right there. I thought those were so cool. These were ridiculous. These schematics and whatnot. Those were pretty awesome. I love that. Wolverine's claws, you know. Before they were like, they're bone claws. Yeah. But love those cards. Talking about the weapons and whatnot. Given history of them. A lot of fun. And then here are the dead characters, or not necessarily dead maybe, but no longer around until they want to bring them back, of course. Hey, look at that, Captain Marvel, looking conspicuously like a dude. You got Darkhawk and Sleepwalker, Rage. Anybody remember Rage? Is Rage still around? The OG Ghost Rider card's awesome. Yeah, I agree. Love these two guys when I was a kid. This was one of my favorite cards. The new Fantastic Four. I just love the idea of those characters together. I didn't care for it, even though I knew that they were just holding down the fort at the time. I didn't necessarily care too much for them to be called the new Fantastic Four. But, you know, you get Art Adams to draw it. And it's hard to argue. They're just like, hey, everyone that's popular, put them together. And then you can get the Hulk doing fastball specials with Wolverine. quite the pairing. Here's a couple more on the team. And then here's the cards that Johnny was talking about, where they describe, you know, they throw in Aunt May. Aunt May's not even in this set. Poor Aunt May. And I mean, they're throwing like the ones at Aunt May right there. And then some of them, if you notice, there's never a 7 in agility, so they don't even put a character to represent that stat, which is clever. But yeah, Aunt May down there in the 1. So again, this set did it right. They ended on a full complete page, 162. And I liked that a lot as well when I was a kid. Nothing worse than having empty spots. A whole set. So here's the Series 3. Series 3 was a lot of fun. They kind of have a connecting sort of background motif going on with the power stats as well. That was always interesting to check that out. Not all the cards connect proper, but most do. There's got to be an overall greater explanation. It almost feels like they're supposed to connect in a different sort of way, because obviously these would connect there. They didn't quite connect the way you would have imagined that they all should have. Like these look like they would connect more with the bottom of these. And then these tops here would hit with the... So it's almost there. They almost did it right. But really great stuff in this set too. A lot of fun. Yeah, there's a Nova card. Let me see. I think it was the first page. Maybe. No. No. There is a Nova card, though. It's coming up. Love that Wolverine. Silvestri right there. Great stuff. Where is Nova? It's got to be on this page. Yeah. That Mark Teixeira Cable. The Ghost Rider, too. Loved that one when I was a kid. So there's Nova. If you were looking for that, there you go. Another Silvestri on the Archangel. Took me forever to get this stupid Jean Grey card. This was, I only needed like 4 cards when I was a kid. And then Jean Grey was like almost impossible for me to track down. I had to buy that on eBay years later. Hey, Ken Rocafort says, all cards are connected as a big poster. Yeah. Be interesting to get a whole complete other set and connect them all as a poster. Glue them down. Because it's like a puzzle in a way. Because some of them clearly match up and then some of them really don't. It looks like you got to put some effort into mixing and rearranging. Here's the team ups. These are fun. Always fun to be able to pick up these issues too. I love the fact that they reference a lot of those issues. It helped me to seek out some of them as a kid. You know, all of this went a long way into helping, I think, a lot of people become comic book readers and collectors as well. Just a lot of stuff they just don't do anymore. And now we got the villains. Dug that Eric Larson Venom when I was a kid. I love Sal Buscema's work with Spectacular Spider-Man, so that Green Goblin spoke to me. It was one of the first, other than John Romita, one of the first Spider-Mans I ever saw when I was a kid was Sal Buscema's art on Spectacular. Very stylized, but he did a great Green Goblin. Love that Silvestri Sabretooth. There's a couple really awesome cards in this set. Some of these guys I don't remember to save my life. Zarko. I don't remember him at all. Looks like a Fantastic Four guy if I had to guess. Oh no, it's like a Thor villain. Interesting. Slug. I don't remember him at all. That poor bastard. That poor bastard. Oh, man. Slapstick. Jeez. I remember Slapstick. A couple of rookies here. Strong Guy, Bishop, Silhouette. You know, taking a look at this whole bunch of binders with all these trading cards and all these characters. Man, there's all kinds of different characters. All kinds of different walks of life as characters. Loved Bishop as a kid. Holy smokes, did I love Bishop as a kid. That friggin' action figure they put out. So cool. I love the cosmic beings part of this. Epic really creeped me out. In-Betweener is straight out of that Star Trek episode. These were a lot of fun, the Origin cards. I was missing the Cap. And what other one? I think it was one of the teams. But I was missing Cap and that Jean Grey card from earlier. I had to buy those separately. The teams are a lot of fun here. Always a lot of fun seeing these team portraits. Oh, maybe it wasn't a team card. Which one was it? That was weird. I could have sworn it was one of those. It might have been one of the wars. But yeah, it was like 3 or 4 cards I could never get for the life of me. And I just gave up. And then eBay came along and I bought it there. Yeah, Blastbeat, there's no Deadpool. What I think you might be thinking about is the Deadpool card that was in the X-Force #1. And it kind of resembled Series 2. Deadpool is in Series 4, though, of Marvel Universe. And then I loved these. These cards were fun. I think they were in, man, what? Like Crunch, like Bunch of Crunch or something like that? Bunch of Crunch, Crunch and Munch, Munch and Crunch, I don't know. Some mix of those words in that little set. And then they got another set, but that's way harder to find. You see, they didn't do it right here. They had a 200 card set. Should have ended it at 198, you know? Yeah, whatever. With nostalgia comes old man grump. This was a fun set. Very similar to that Mark Bagley Spider-Man set where they all connect. Crunch and Munch. Thank you, Daniel Craig. Appreciate that. When in doubt, turn to the chat. They always know. So that set was a lot of fun, and they have power stats and whatnot there too. A lot of RT Bear in this set. This is not our T-Bear, of course. This is Ron Lim. Art had that great X-Men scene. We'll come up to that in a second. Here's the New Warriors. X-Force. There's your Deadpool. Eric says a lot of characters are not only interesting, but have not been given a chance to develop. I agree. Very true. There's a ton of great characters. And there's so many stories that have been told with them that are iconic in the comics. But meanwhile, it just seems like they want to regurgitate the same stories with the same characters over and over again and figure out ways to make it worse with every revisit. It's very strange. Loved this one when I was a kid. This whole scene here. I never could understand, was this an error or was that what his costume looked like at the time? Because I always thought, shouldn't it have like the dip in the V like it normally did? Or did he go with a solid red at the time? Micro Max, who's basically just like the Atom. Other than that, I didn't mind Havoc's outfit. I understood it at the time with the X Factor having kind of a uniformity to the look, but I always liked the black and white. This was really cool. I thought this whole kind of scene with a lot of the more, I don't know, I guess they're kind of cosmic in a way, but more mystical and magical characters was a lot of fun. Spider-Man scene here is a lot of fun too. Good stuff. Daniel says, I think Nightcrawler did have a solid costume like that for a brief period. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I always thought it would look kind of awkward. It always just looked like a mistake or a lazy way to make a new costume. This was a pretty cool scene. Love the War Machine storytelling here with him blasting down on Tiger Shark. Namor looking like he's seen some stuff at this point. He's got that 90s mullet with the permanent 5 o'clock shadow. Looking like Lorenzo Lamas would have played Namor at that time. Straight out of the Renegade set. This is another one that was fun. Remember the Thing with his little metal mask there because he got slashed by Wolverine. Boy, oh boy. Pouch City. Pouch City for Mr. Fantastic, too. And then Visible Woman. Wanting to be very visible. This was kind of fun, too, seeing all these kinds of different characters. It confused the hell out of me when I saw Scarecrow, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that name for multiple characters. This is 93. Wow, 93. So for like 8-9-year-old Pete, this was a great time to be alive. These were a lot of really fun characters, a lot of great art. Love that Ghost Rider card. This whole scene was a lot of fun. And there we go with the Art T-Bear. That's a fun X-Men 9-card layout. Got a bunch of there's another bunch of cosmic beings, I guess you could say. There's alien races. That was pretty cool. These were all like what, Marvel UK? Is that what it was? Is that what it was called? Something like that. Some of these were pretty fun. I mostly remember these three on the bottom there. These were kind of interesting in terms of touching on various things that seemed pretty mysterious among the origins and goings-ons of the Marvel Universe. Then we got some battle cards here. A lot of great stuff. And yeah, this is a complete set, ending the way it should, with a full 9 pocket page. All right, that's it. That's all I got. That's all the trading cards in my collection. So it was a fun little walk down memory lane tonight, seeing a bunch of these. If you guys have any, please let me know in the comments. If you're seeing some that looked new to you, let me know that as well. Let me know some of your other favorite sets if I don't have any of them. You know, maybe I'll do a deep dive on the eBay one of these days and start taking a look. Probably walking away slowly after that, but taking a look nonetheless. Thank you guys so much. This was a really fun hangout, and I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Alterna channel with a couple of the Alterna creators. We're going to be going over that winter merch apparel one last time because there's just a couple of days left. Just a couple of days. That campaign ends on the 27th. So please feel free. Go and visit alternacomics.com/winter. Check out some of the merch there. A bunch of it's going to be shipping out in December and January. Other than that, I've got a lot of packages left to ship out. I'd say probably about 80 or 90 if you're waiting. And it's almost 400 in total. So I'm getting there. But if you're waiting, thank you for your patience. Really appreciate it. Oh, I love this Carwick thing in his sub. Look at that. That's a great looking sandwich. Like I didn't eat enough yet. But if you're waiting on yours, thank you for your patience. Really appreciate it. They are getting out there. And please, seriously, it means a lot. Thank you guys. I never want you guys to forget that. It really means a lot that you support the comics at Alterna and all the independent creators out there that you enjoy. And if they're not independent and there's stuff like this coming out of the big two, whatever, and you're enjoying it too, hey, that's great also. I'm not going to hate on you for it. I definitely loved a lot back in the day, that's for sure. Not so much nowadays, but back in the day, absolutely. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, over on the Alterna Comics channel. Again, that's where I'll be with a couple of the creators there. And other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful evening, a great night, and an even better tomorrow. Oh, and Fluffy Cat. Yeah, you can go and... I've got a bunch of stuff on eBay. It's not really trading cards, mostly comics. I've got the link in the description of the show. It's in there somewhere. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. Again, a great night and a better tomorrow. Take it easy. See you soon. All the best.